I'm too on one day on my third. I was too broke, now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, so boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy. Man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up first and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Right back to him on first down. And he's got some space here. That one good for 33 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10.
Let's go, let's go, come on.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught at the 7th. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together.
It's a foot race, and he finds Tyler Kroft. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Gone! Watch him now, Barney!
He'll drop to throw. Escaping the... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jared Davis, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And now running right through it. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. And it's third down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense.
Watch him now, Barney. Over.
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
With it is Brown. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On play action, now Rodgers. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher if guys trying to get to the football.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Fighting to stay upright. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw is Rodgers. He's going deep for Brown. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here, and this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Packers get set to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Zoom. Jump out! Hey, check 26.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Hey, where y'all going? Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26.
Rodgers now to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
They begin the drive with Johnson, and he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the 1st quarter.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep. And this is caught at the 20. And he gets this down deep inside of Arizona's 15-yard line. It's a big play for the Pack on 3rd. 43 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
And that takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the Pack up on 3rd and long. Now McKinnon. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flushed out right. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A very solid gain of 27. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Back to throw now on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now back to throw. Dancing to his left. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. 12 yards on the return that time. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. To throw on 2nd down, Rodgers. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
Rodgers now looking to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. Oh, now he pulls him over. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot!
2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, 20, 10, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. After the pick six, they go right back to the air, eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He finds McKinnon, complete. Give him 30 yards there.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That is caught inside the 5. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Jerick McKinnon with his 16th touchdown of the year, and the Packers add 6 to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And they'll run it here. Nifty footwork at the 45. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Rodgers now on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards for number 11.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And this one is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
This is caught by Robinson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. They run it with McKinnon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
Defense, get the ball back for our offense and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Blue 90! Blue 90! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Back to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Jared Davis in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. A second time. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Zoom. Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Yeah, baby! Yeah! Hey, watch 12, watch 12! Single, Detroit!
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Cardinals on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 9.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4.
319. Get reset. Hey, easy. 26. Hey. 319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Jump out. Hey, check 26. 259. Oko over here.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
We are going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They run once more with McKinnon. And he gets it down to the 32. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here's McKinnon. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Jamar Taylor will be credited with a tackle.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Over here. Jump out. Hey, check 26.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And McManus able to put it through, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over. Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll look to throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Sheds off the tackle. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Underneath for Johnson. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And his kick here is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here again is McKinnon. .31 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. McKinnon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Packers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. And they'll go on the ground. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be getting a whole lot of credit to the running game, the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.